Dave Palumbo standing here with John Hansen at the IFBB Tampa Pro Show. We're here in Tampa, Florida, and the prejudging on Friday just let out. John, we saw men's 212. We saw the women's bodybuilding today. We saw fitness and men's physique. Let's start with one of the most exciting of the show, the men's 212, where Hide Yamagishi, Marvin Ward, and Tricky Jackson went for it, top three there. It was exciting because, you know what, all guys were in shape.
Yeah, Marvin Ward really surprised me. That guy's like a little statue, a little flex wheeler.
He's almost 5 feet. I don't think he's 4'11".
Yeah, and he really came in condition today. I think Hide was the favorite coming in, obviously, and I think he's going to probably pull ahead and win. He did everything he needed to do to win. He's got the size, he's got the conditioning. He's got a little bit better structure than Marvin because Marvin's sort of short, but Marvin really made it close, I thought, because he's so hard and so unconditioned.
Let's talk about Hide, because Hide, you know, wasn't happy with his Chicago Pro. He lost there, you know, to Charles Dixon, and he was not happy about that. He decided, I want to come back to the Olympia with a win. He comes in here, probably maybe his best we've seen him in a while. Glutes could have been a little tighter. They looked a little flat to me, but his conditioning and his coloring, he just looked like the old Hide to me. Yeah,
and he presented himself like a winner too, and I think he knew he was the favorite, and I think he, like I said, I think he did everything he needed to do to win. I think he'll come out ahead.
Now, Marvin Ward at 4'11" is just mind-boggling because he's so wide and his waist is so small, and this is probably conditioning-wise the best we've seen him. I mean, he was peeled. He had the cross-striated quads. His chest and abs were just absolutely shredded. If this guy was like 3 inches taller, he'd be really, really dangerous.
I know. I mean, I think he's been compared before to like Flex Wheeler, like shorter Flex Wheeler, and he almost has that kind of that structure, you know.
The proportion is just absolutely whacking. You have to like look at it, and it's mind-boggling. You know what the truth is? If his glutes were a little tighter, I would have given Marvin Ward the win here today.
Yeah, I could see it going his way. You know, I mean, I think, like I said, Hide's got the structure, taller, obviously, you know, and just better overall proportions. But man, I love Marvin Ward's physique too.
You know, and you know, we leave out Tricky Jackson in this top group in our minds, but Tricky Jackson is really one of the best Tricky Jacksons we've seen. Maybe a little flat today, but on that back double bicep, he might be the best man up there.
Yeah, Tricky looked really good. I thought he could have came across a little harder. Maybe he was a little flat, you know, but he didn't have quite the conditioning.
Wasn't popping.
Yeah, he wasn't popping compared to the other two, you know, Marvin and Hide.
But if you really analyze Tricky's physique, he probably is in better shape than the other two guys. Once again, if you don't have that fullness, sometimes the skin kind of sits a little loose, and sometimes you don't see all the snap or the wow, as we say. Yeah,
and he's done quite a few shows this year already. I know he's done a lot of guest posings too, so maybe he's getting a little burned out, you know.
You know, it's interesting, but you know, this is, I believe, is the last 212 qualifier for the Olympia, and I'm sure Hide is going to really, if he goes home with the win, will be happy with that momentum going into the 212, because I think he's got a good shot at possibly pushing Flex Lewis.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think when he comes back tonight, he's always got a really good posing routine. He's one of the better posers in the sport, I think, with that classical type of transitions, so I think he'll pull out ahead tonight.
Women's bodybuilding was a very close fought battle between Sheila Bleck, Monique Jones, and Jennifer Cedia. You know, I have two horses in the race, so to speak, with Sheila Bleck and Monique Jones, and I got to tell you, you know, Sheila was just absolutely peeled. She had a lot of problems getting into this show. 3 weeks ago, she was behind schedule, and she was doing like 3 hours of cardio, and she really pulled it all together. I think this is the best Sheila Bleck we've ever seen.
Me too, man. She was amazing. She trains at the same gym I go to, Powerhouse Gym in downtown Tampa, and she's always covered up, so I didn't know what kind of shape she was in.
Rocky sweatshirt on.
Yeah, right, she is. And man, I never seen her so peeled, so ripped. I thought she dominated the show. I mean, I think she's going to win. She just came across as the only one really who really did her homework. You know what I mean? Not that the other girls weren't, but this one, she really came across good.
She left no stone unturned, as we say, and this is actually the best we've ever seen Sheila, because Sheila, you know, has sometimes trouble getting lean from behind. She's peeled all the way around. I think that she'll go home with the win. You know, for second place, I had Monique Jones in a solid second. Monique is actually, when you look at her on stage, is bigger than Iris Kyle. I mean, her structure is huge. I thought her conditioning was good. I would have liked to see it a little tighter, and I think at the Olympia, hopefully if she qualifies, it will be. But I don't see her any worse than second here. It seems like the judges had Jennifer Cedia in second. What did you think about Monique Jones?
Yeah, I would have put her in second too, I think, because like you said, her structure and her size is so overwhelming. She's so much bigger than all the other competitors, and she was in good shape, not as good as maybe she's been or she could have been, but I think she's definitely good enough for second.
Yeah, and she's certainly an Olympia athlete. I mean, this girl fits in that top 5 at the Olympia.
Yeah, absolutely, because like you said, with the size and the structure she has, very few can compare to that. Nobody can compare to that today.
I mean, you have to look at when you also evaluate who's going to qualify for the Olympia, who will do well at the Olympia.
Yeah.
Now, Jennifer Cedia has got a beautiful structure. She's got the nice shape. She's got a streamlined waist. I feel her legs are lacking behind her upper body, and I just didn't see the glutes with the conditioning of the other girls.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was looking more at Monique and Sheila, for the first place win.
We'll have to see what happens a little later tonight. Let's talk about the fitness, where Bethany's sister Nino pretty much dominates the physique round. The routines will be tonight, but I don't think anyone touches Bethany in that physique.
Yeah, her waist is so tiny. I mean, she really stands out when she comes out on stage.
And she's not a big girl. If you look at her in sweats after, she's like this teeny, skinny looking girl, but her proportion when she takes her clothes off is so good, and she's got good muscle shape.
Yeah, and I'm sure some of the other girls will come close to her tonight with the routines, but I think as far as physique goes, I think Bethany had it.
In the men's physique, it was a 2-horse race between Sadiq Hadzovic and Anton Antipov, both from New York. Who'd you like?
I think Anton was a little harder. The abs were sharper, but Sadiq has the better physique, I think. The wider shoulders, and presents himself with a lot of confidence. This guy's got a lot of confidence. It's
tough because they have two different physiques. Sadiq has got a slightly wider waist than Anton, but he's bigger, muscularly speaking. And as bodybuilders, I think we're more impressed with his physique. But it'll be interesting to see who the judges go with.
Who'd you go with?
I like Sadiq because I like his physique and I know him personally. But I could make a case for Anton and I would not have a problem. So I would, that's why I don't judge. But I would flip a coin in that place.
Yeah, I think Anton did have the sharper abs, and he was sharper conditioned. But it all depends on what the judges go for.
My criteria, it's haircut and it's abs. So who has the better haircut abs combination?
Sadiq probably, right?
All right. So there you go. John Hansen just gave you the answer. We won't know who wins till later tonight. For now, though, this is the Prejudging wrap-up. I'm Dave Palumbo with John Hansen for RxMuscle.com.